Start over. Don't even. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Selah, can you read this with me?
31 minus 18.
Good. Which part of our subtraction problem is the whole?
30.
Good. And which part do we know?
18.
Excellent. And what are we trying to figure out?
What the other part is.
What the other part is. Nice job. Now, when we use dots or chips to subtract, we always start by drawing the whole. So I'm going to draw. Now, how many tens did I draw and how many ones?
3 tens and 1.
Good. And how much does that equal altogether?
31.
Nice. So the awesome thing about the chip model is that we get to be detectives. And when we're detectives, we're looking really closely at the whole so that we can figure out if we need to unbundle. So I'm going to draw an imaginary magnifying glass, just as a reminder that we're looking really closely at the whole to see if we need to unbundle.
Okay.
So when I look at the chips here, I'm going to start with the smallest place value. What is the smallest place value?
1.
The ones place. Can I take 8 ones from 1 1?
1.
So what do I need to do?
You need to take a 10 from the 3 and give it to the 1.
Excellent. So I'm going to decompose one of these tens. Into 10 ones. Now every time I manipulate the chips here, I'm going to record it in my vertical form.
Yeah.
So what I just did was to decompose one of the tens into 10 ones. So I'm going from 3 tens to how many are left?
2.
And how many ones do I have now altogether?
10. Oh, 11.
11. Good. And where did the 11 come from?
From the 10, giving everyone 10 and adding that to the 1.
Excellent. Now can I take 8 ones from 11 ones?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to show that by crossing off 8 ones. And how many ones do I have left?
3 ones left.
Good. And so every time I do something with my chips, I'm going to record it in my vertical method. So when I take 8 ones from 11 ones, I have 3 ones left. Excellent. Now I can jump over here to the tens place, and can I take 1 10 from 2 tens?
Yeah.
Yes, I can. What would that look like here?
You cross out one of the circles.
Good, because I took 1 10 from my 2 tens, and how many tens do I have left?
1.
Good. So when I take 1 10 from 2 tens, I have 1 10 left. And so what's my final answer?
13.
Excellent. Would you like to try some?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions? Okay, let's see how you do.
So 46 minus 24. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And I can take 6 away from 4.
So let's look again. Remember when we're going to be detectives, which part of our subtraction problem we're going to put the imaginary magnifying glass around?
The whole?
Excellent. To see if we need to unbundle?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so when you look at the ones place, what are you asking yourself?
Can you take 4 out of 6?
Good. Can you?
Yeah. So take.
So which place value
Oh,
are you?
you take. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have 2 left, so put 2 here. And then you can take 4 out of 2. So, yeah, I mean, you can take 2 out of 4, so then you cross out 2 tens, and you have 2 left, so you get 22.
Good. And when you take 2 tens from 4 tens, what do you get?
2.
2?
2 tens from 4 tens?
Yes. So when you do 2 tens, and you take that away from 4 tens, do you have just 2 left?
You have 2 tens.
2 tens left. Excellent. Which is why you put it right here in the tens place. So that's 2 tens. And what's your final answer?
22.
Excellent.
And then 77 plus 58. I mean, minus 58. And you can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You cannot take 8 out of 7.
Good. And so as the detective, they're very good. Remember the magnifying glass.
You can take 110 and put it in the ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you can take this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be 17.
17 ones altogether.
17. And then that would be 9.
Let's show it over here, even though I know you know how to do that. When you use the chip model, what would that look like to take away 8?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Excellent. And then originally you had taken 110 to decompose into 10 ones. Did you record that in the vertical method?
Oh, wait, no. And then you take that and get 6.
Excellent. And so let's use the unit language. What does that 7 represent? 7 tens, and it becomes
6 tens.
when you give one group of 10 over to the ones. Excellent.
And then 6. 5 can go into 6. So then you have 110. You can get 1, 2, 3, 5. So then you have 110 left.